Jane, I wanted to talk to you about loneliness and isolation. When people are going through challenges or setbacks or medical situations, we found at Soaring Words that the number one feeling that comes up, the number one emotion is isolation, sometimes despair, a sense of hopelessness. But we know that there are concrete things that people can do to minimize their sense of loneliness. Can you talk about some of the really important theories that you've cultivated over the years that can help someone really look at that loneliness and not try to stuff it, not try to deny it, because that just makes it much, much worse? What are some of the concrete things that people can do to feel connected to themselves and to others?
One of the things that contributes to our sense of loneliness is a sense of shame or self-criticism. And so an important antidote to loneliness is the cultivation of more self-compassion. And so again, if we start to feel lonely and we start to become kind of caving in at ourselves and filled with self-critical thoughts, what Kristen Neff and Chris Germer and other people who study self-compassion have taught us is that, first of all, it's like, how are we speaking to ourselves? Are we speaking to ourselves with kindness like we would a friend? So let's imagine, we messed up in some way. We forgot someone's birthday. We didn't show up at the hospital on time. We forgot to pay a bill. I mean, there's a lot of things we can mess up on. The question is, what are the first thoughts that come to your mind? And oftentimes they're the kinds of things that actually put us into a more isolated state and actually worsen the sense of loneliness. But if we learn to talk to ourselves with kindness like we would a friend, like, oh, you are suffering. I am suffering. This really hurts. And, and I'm feeling this kind of thing, this way and this way and this way. And we sort of honor the sense of suffering we feel and speak softly and gently to ourselves. That can be an important route for self-compassion. Another thing they teach us about the importance of sensing common humanity is if we again are do something that messes up, is to sort of think of ourselves, well, we're not alone. Pretty much everybody's messed up this way, sometime in their life, or someone may not be suffering, not done the exact same thing I have, but you're not alone in your suffering. We all suffer. We all experience pain. We all mess up, and that can be another important route for self-compassion. So one of the ways that we can combat loneliness is to cultivate more self-compassion. A second, which is to think about, it's not necessarily about having lots of deep friendships. It is about having, those are helpful, don't get me wrong. But the research suggests that having just one friend can actually make a really big difference. In the course of our day, what is the amount of our time that's actually, again, in our brain, focused on these high quality connections, cultivating more capacity through curiosity and interest and the kinds of things we've been talking about to build more high quality connections, or as you suggested, we can savor more of those high quality connections. So those self-compassion and more high quality connections are two of the pathways I might suggest we walk to increase our to decrease our loneliness.